Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We have a few people who are still coming in, um, but we are going to go ahead and get started. First off, I just want to introduce myself. So my name is Asha Meisel. I am the Parent and Family Programs Coordinator here at UT Tyler. So for everyone that is joining, all of the parents and the guests and possible students that are on the call, thank you for joining us tonight. I know our evenings are already not super long, so I do want to thank you for giving us an hour of your time. So a little bit of just about what this webinar series is. So these are 5 different series throughout the summer that are just kind of going over some random topics that are important to our students and our families that want to get more information about things going on around campus, or some key dates, some key information that maybe they want to ask questions about and stuff like that. So tonight we've got our one-stop parking services, dining services, and then our housing and residence life. They will all be talking tonight, giving a little overview of their areas and what they cover, some key dates, important information that you need to know as a student or a guest coming in for this coming academic year. All of the information that you'll be receiving tonight. If you have any questions over it, we have plenty of time to ask questions for all of our representatives that are here tonight, and you'll get a live answer. If there's anything that you need covered that you haven't gotten covered, or for some reason they don't know the answer to it, you are more than able to email us. We'll do everything that we can to get all those answers for you. So everyone tonight is going to be doing a little 10-minute presentation. Nothing too crazy, but as a reminder, in a webinar, our panelists will be able to have their cameras on and speak. These are all of our UT Tyler staff members. But if you're just an attendee on the call, you will not be able to turn on your camera, and you will not be able to turn on your microphone either. So feel free to utilize the chat feature at the bottom or the Q&A feature. The Q&A feature is most commonly going to be used for all of our questions. So if you click on that box, you can ask a question. One of our staff members will be able to then go in and answer the question. If it's something simple, we'll just type an answer back. But if it's a little bit more detailed, we'll go ahead and wait until the end of the session to be able to then answer it live and give you a more verbal response to your question. But we're going to be going in an order. So we're going to have our one-stop present first, then we're going to go to parking, then dining, and then housing and residence life. So if we can get one-stop, Amanda, if you'll go ahead and get your presentation loaded up and everything ready to go, we can go ahead and kick it off.
Section. So I'm just going to use the UT Tyler website, and you should be able to see it now on the one-stop page. Cool. That is uttyler.edu/enroll. If you can't find anything on the website, just remember that URL, uttyler.edu/enroll. We try to make it really easy. Enroll at uttyler.edu is also our email address, so they follow each other. What the one-stop is we are a shared governance office that basically covers 7 different departments. So we are cross-trained in areas like admissions, records, enrollment, financial aid, scholarships, and student billing. We also have shared space for outside offices. So student business services has some front counter space, and they do things like take payments, help set up payment plans, and get photo IDs set up for students. We also have a parking representative sitting at one of our stations that can help with parking tickets and various items with the parking department. So we really share the space, and we try to prevent students from having to run around to multiple different offices during the time frame that they ask questions. We're here mainly to problem solve and to disseminate information. So if you ever are stuck somewhere along the student pathway and you need to know where to go, we may not be the right office, but we can try to get you to the right office. So start with us. Come to us either in person, call us on the phone, live chat, or send us an email. And this website has a lot of good information for just quick access to relevant information that students need throughout their life cycle as a student at UT Tyler. The one thing, there's 2 things that I want everybody to take away, and that is FERPA information and the tutorial library. So on the UT Tyler website, you see a bunch of different tiles, and these tiles are meant to kind of simulate the student account themselves, because the student account is also set up with tiles. So we have a tile that says student pen. And basically what that is it is information for the students and their parents and their authorized representatives that lets them know that as soon as they enroll in classes, their account is protected by what's called FERPA. It's the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. And it protects students' information from being released without their authorization. And so when a student officially enrolls in classes at UT Tyler, they are then the only representatives who are authorized to access their information unless a school official has a need to know in order to answer questions for them. So if a parent were to call up on the phone and try to ask questions about the student's account, say financial aid, billing, where the student is located, are they enrolled in classes or not, those kind of questions can't actually be answered unless the student has authorized that parent as a user on their account. So this FERPA pin gives information about the FERPA law, and it also gives information to the student about how they can set up a PIN number on their student center account that has a section for them to authorize a user. So when a parent wants to call up and ask information about their student's account, they can give us their student's ID number, the FERPA PIN, and then as soon as we authorize that information and we see their name, we can answer any questions as if the student was right there with them. So it's really, really important that students set up this PIN. It's also important for them to be able to verify themselves when they're on calls or live chats. They can't necessarily show a photo ID at that point. So the easiest thing for them to do is know their student ID number and have a FERPA PIN. That way we know exactly who they are and we can talk about anything that they need to talk about. Otherwise, we have to speak very generally about different rules and regulations and financial aid. We can't go into details without first verifying those students. And the second thing I want you to take away from this webpage is this tutorial library right here. We worked really, really hard to build a library of PDFs and video guides that basically walk a student through different aspects of their student account, financial aid, enrolling in classes, meeting with advisors, how to pay payment plans, all different kinds of things. So it's a really long list. It has about 1-page PDFs, 1 to 2 pages with arrows. It's really nice. Let's see. The FERPA pen, it's a good one. It has little arrows that point to tiles on their account and show them exactly where to add all of the information that's needed to set up that FERPA pen. It also has video links with 2 to 3 minute short videos that walk you through the steps on a fake student account to show you how to get to the point that you have it all the way set up. And there are a lot of those for different areas. We're always looking to add more. So if you ever get stuck and you need help, come to us. We will try to help you. We will get you to the right department. There are a variety of ways to reach us, and they're all on that website. In person, lots of fun because you can come up and see us at the front counter and we can chit chat with you. Emails are usually within a 24-hour turnaround period. Live chat is super fast. We do not get a lot of usage on the live chat. So really it's the quickest way to reach us. Phones are the hardest way to reach us because everyone is calling. Even the people trying to sell stuff to the university are calling. And so it gets really backed up on our phone lines. So we recommend that as a last option. And then the last thing I want you to know is some things that we don't do. We are not IT support. We cannot reset your password. We can help try to walk you through your password reset, but we cannot actually push a button to reset your password. We cannot troubleshoot technical issues on your account. So that would be up to IT support. They do have a Zoom session, and if you email us, we will email you a link to that Zoom session. And then we are not advising. We cannot advise students on degree plans or what classes to take. We can help them with barriers to enrollment, such as holds or getting permission to get into a class late, anything like that. We have full access to help them do those type of things, but we can't actually go over their degree plan with them. That is part of academic success, and we are great at their jobs. So if you ever need any help on the UT Tyler website, reach out to the OneStop. We are here for you, and if we can't find the right answer, we'll find somebody.
Alrighty. If anybody has any questions concerning the one-stop, FERPA, any of that information, go ahead and put it in the Q&A box right now. Amanda will hang around and then we can answer some of those questions later or now or whatever. So next up, we are going to move into our parking. So we're going to welcome Mr. Cromley on, and he's going to talk a little bit about parking.
Good evening. Let me see if I can share my screen. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Can you see that okay?
Yes, you are good.
All right. So my name is Robert Cromley. I'm the Executive Director of Emergency Management and Safety. One of the things that come under my purview is parking on the campus. And so I want to give you a little bit of orientation on the parking and kind of how it goes. So one thing I always like to tell everybody that our parking transportation office is completely self-funded. We don't receive any student tuition money to build, repair, or maintain parking lots anywhere on the campus. All the money that we get from to support our department is through parking permits. So all that money we collect goes directly back into parking that does all those things I just mentioned, plus maintains the staff that works in the parking and transportation office. So that's how we get our revenue, and we don't collect any of that from student fees, because if you don't park on our campus or in our resident housing, then you're not required to buy a permit for our campus. So that's why we don't require that. So here's some fees and links that you need to be aware of. You see the QR code there, that will take you directly to our parking portal. You can use that. We have two type permits on the campus. One is a commuter permit. The other is a resident permit. The commuter permit is used for those who are traveling from off campus to campus, with the exception of Ornelas Hall, because Ornelas Hall is located on the interior of our campus. So those students that are in housing at Ornelas Hall will purchase commuter permits. The resident permit is for housing off campus: Victory Village, Patriot Village, Liberty Landing, Foundry, University Pines. So if you live in any of those areas, you will purchase a resident permit. When you purchase your permit in the fall, it's good for the whole year, fall and spring semesters. The permit fee this year is $112.50. When you purchase that, it'll, as I said, it'll make it good for fall and spring. Permits will be available for purchase beginning on August the 1st. And there's the link if you need that. One thing was new this year, there will be no hang tags for your vehicle this year. Your permit will be linked to your license plate. So when you go in and buy your permit, it'll be necessary for you to put your vehicle information along with your license plate that will be connected to your permit. You can put up to 3 vehicles that you own that'll be attached to your permit. Now, don't think that a buddy can put their vehicle on your permit to keep from buying a permit. That doesn't work very well. If you're both parked on the campus at the same time, we'll figure that out pretty quickly. So the 3 vehicles are vehicles that you own that will be attached to you. The other link there is parking@uttyler.edu. That's our email address. Or you can call the phone number directly that goes to our parking coordinator. As was mentioned previously in the OneStop, our parking coordinator has a station at the OneStop, Station 3, that you can go there and you can talk to her about permits. If you're having trouble getting your permit or logging into the portal, she's a person that you need to talk to. She'll be glad to help you with that. Sometimes we run into issues with students not being able to make a purchase, and she can help you with that also. So One Stop Shop is a good place to talk to somebody about permits. I understand the first couple of weeks of the semester is pretty busy. So have a little patience as you're trying to get a hold of her, either by email or by phone call. They'll get returned. So just kind of be patient. Just know that first 2 weeks of the semester is kind of a grace period, gives everybody time to get registered and get their permits. So we won't be hunting you down the first couple of weeks of the semester. A couple of things to remember. Students with a resident permit cannot park on the campus between the hours of 8 and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. After 5 p.m. and on weekend, resident permits may park on the campus anytime during the day or evening. Everybody's parks on the campus is required to have a permit. We are a parking by permit only campus. This includes students, faculty, staff, and even visitors. If you have a visitor that's coming to visit you in a residence hall, maybe your parents or somebody, they can go into our guest portal and get a guest permit that will give them access to the campus. It's free, doesn't cost anything, but they'll need to do that. When you go into the parking portal, you'll see a section there for a guest, and you can go in there and put your vehicle information in there, and then we'll know who you are. Parking on campus is limited during the semester by daily events that's going on and construction that we have on campus. We send notifications out weekly to let you know what parking spaces will be reserved and to help you adjust your parking. Make sure that you park in designated areas and double check signage for reserved parkings and blocked off parking. Here's a parking map. If you're going to come to class, you need to come a little early. Tuesdays, Thursdays are pretty big class days. So you may not be able to park right in front of the building that your class is in. So you may have to walk between buildings while you're on the campus. And be sure to check for the reserved spaces and make sure you don't park in one of those as you're coming on campus. This is a reserved parking sign. If you see this sign, no matter what number is on it, this is just an example, don't park in it. These are reserved for people, faculty, staff who have paid for that parking space. So don't park in it, even though you think you're just going to be in the building for 5 or 10 minutes and you're coming back out. Don't do that. You'll get a citation. There's a zero tolerance for parking in a reserved parking space. So if you get that, you will get a citation for that. Parking, as I said, is a premium, so you may want to consider biking on campus from residence halls to campus. Even if you live off campus and you live close by, you may want to consider bikes. Bike racks are available, if you see on the map, at all the buildings on the campus and housing complexes. The HBC has a bike rental program. It's included in your student membership. You can contact the rec sports for that. And also parking and transportation, we're providing a bike share ride program. It's free, doesn't cost anything. If you'll contact our office at that number or at that email, we don't have a large amount of bikes available, but we do have some that are available for use during a semester. We ask that you take care of them and bring them back when you're through with the semester so we can reuse them again. Again, there's a parking office number and the email, and Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, at the OneStop, and located there in Stewart Hall. And one other thing about OneStop, we also have our keys and pickup there. So if you are a student worker or something, you've been issued a key to a particular door or somewhere, you can pick up that key there at the OneStop also. I think that's all I've got.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If anybody has questions regarding parking, make sure to throw them up in the Q&A chat box on there, and we will make sure that those get answered. Next up, we have dining services. So Cindy will go ahead and get the dining rolling. Oh, Cindy, you're muted.
There it goes. Okay, I took off my video. Can everybody hear me okay? Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, let me go in here and present my screen. Sorry, I'm not finding it. Can you see my screen? I'm so sorry, y'all. Okay, let me get out of here. Share screen. Okay, let me know if you can see it now. Wonderful. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. Woo, first hiccup out of the way. So hello guys, my name is Cindy Garcia. I'm with Sodexo Dining Services. We provide a multitude of dining services throughout campus. But first of all, I'd like for you guys to meet the rest of our team. We have, oh, let me get this out of the way. There it goes. You don't need to see my face there. We have our general manager, Jamie, who is over everybody. We also have our retail manager, Daniel Kelsey, who's our regional campus dietitian. There's myself when I curl my hair every once in a while. And then Jamian, who is our marketing intern. He is actually a student like myself. I'm a part-time student and I have 4 classes left. So you guys might see me out throughout campus. Feel free to say hi at any time. Same thing with Jamian. We also have our executive chef, Chad, who doesn't have a picture on here. Basically, a little bit of what we offer is, like I said, throughout campus, we have several dining services. We have our little swoop and go, as you can see right there on the top right corner. It's like a convenient store, if you will. We've got our Simply to Go and our sushi mamas that are displayed throughout campus. So sometimes, like, let's say you don't have a chance to come to the university center, you're on the go, but you haven't had lunch. And so all throughout, you'll see like these little refrigerators where you can purchase those items as well. Our newly renovated Subway, which is amazing. Y'all are going to like it. Chick-fil-A, we're really excited that we're going to start offering breakfast in the fall. So that is, I know, has been the talk of the campus for a little bit. Taterlicious. So if you feel like eating a home-baked potato, build your own potato, that's what we have here as well. And then the Einstein, if you need a little pick-me-up for coffee, we have that. We have our Starbucks, which is actually going to reopen in the fall. We're going to be an officially licensed location. If you've never heard of Tres Habaneros, it's basically Chipotle. So if you like Chipotle, you'll love Tres. It's amazing. All of these things right here that you can see, we're going to have these in the University Center. So it's going to be on the 2nd floor, except our dining hall. If you just keep going all the way past the University Center, you'll see some stairs to the 1st floor. That's where we have the Met. So in the fall of 2024, like I mentioned earlier, our Subway has recently been remodeled. Our fully licensed Starbucks location, which is going to be in the library. Of course, Chick-fil-A, who doesn't love their breakfast. Our convenience store is also being expanded. And of course, we have our new mobile app where you can place mobile orders. So if you're coming from class and you're, in a rush for your next class, you just need to pick something up, on your way to the university center, you can go ahead and place an order for food. So we are in this location right here, the University Center, where I mentioned we have all of our delicious items. But if you're ever like in the library on the other side of campus, so right across the two Harvey Lakes is where we're going to have our Starbucks opening in the fall. The Met, we offer a lot of options down there. We have over 9 stations for whether it's the grill, it's your action station, the international bar. Look at just for breakfast. So on the top left, we included a couple of pictures, plethora of breakfast items that we have. Whole fruit, cut up fruit, whole fruit if you're on the way to class. We have several events that we host on campus. For example, one of them was midnight breakfast. Every semester we host downstairs at the Met. I think this past semester we did a little over 800 students, and everybody gets together. We did French toast, pancakes, scrambled eggs. It was lots of fun, lots of organizations, lots of food, lots of giveaways. So that's always really fun during homecoming week. The Everyday app, I believe I mentioned it slightly earlier. This is the app that, let's say you don't have any classes on campus today and you don't know if you need to leave your dorm because it's a rainy day. On the Everyday app, you can go on there and see what the menu is for the Met downstairs to see if you want to get out, come down and get something to eat. Online, we also have all of our hours of operation. As you can see, for the Met is the only thing that's also going to be open Saturday and Sunday. So those of you students that stay on campus, you'll still have options on the weekends. If you haven't chosen a meal plan yet, I do recommend looking into these. It's added to your total whenever you go into checkout. And these are some really amazing plans that we also offer for some staff. We have an Instagram. So our marketing intern that I mentioned earlier, Jamian, he does an amazing job with our Instagram page. So here's a little QR code if you wanted to go ahead and scan it. Feel free to follow us on there. We have a very active profile, and anytime that you want to know about like special events, what we're doing, you can also find out about it there. For example, like for the solar eclipse, a lot of things right there. Okay, so I also wanted to show you guys a couple of videos. This first one is for National Banana Bread Day. So a couple of the staff members, Jamian actually got a couple of the staff members to do a little dance, and we got to post it online. So we like to have fun just throughout our work days. And let me see if you can play it. There it goes. We also do things like on National Strawberry Day, Charlotte, our health nutritionist, was giving out strawberries at the Met, and you could dip it in chocolate fondue, top it with your own sprinkles. So we like to have fun and include everybody in there in our team. This is another one with Jamian.
Subway, eat fresh and make it your way with our new footlong sidekicks, because every footlong deserves a sidekick. We offer footlong churros, pretzels, and cookies. Oh, they're so amazing. Happy to eat, happy to share. Subway.
So since I'm the catering director, this is where I come in as part of the Sodexo team. We do several events throughout campus. We do, as you can see here, this is Charlotte helping us set up for some of the presidential events that we would do at the Alumni House. During the faculty and staff luncheon this year, we got to do the captain serve, and this is some of the desserts that we served. We make it look as fancy as you want us to. This situation, we actually brought the plates out to everyone, so we get to surround the table. We all kind of like look around, nod our heads, and then at the same time, we serve the plate down to the guests. So it was pretty awesome experience to get to do. Any organizations here on campus that have meetings or they're doing, you know, like, oh, we're celebrating our end of year, we can cater for you guys. We've done a couple of graduation receptions. We've done a few weddings before, just business meetings. So there's a lot that we can do. And then, of course, you can see all of the photos on our Instagram. But if you guys have any special events going on, if you're part of any student organizations, feel free to use us. We are on campus. Like I said, we are always able to work with you guys. And so we are always here. This is a copy or a screenshot of our website, Cater Tracks. If you just Google Sodexo Catering or UT Tyler Catering, this is what will come up. And it's just like a little preview, but there's tons of options on there, not just for breakfast, but for receptions, for dinner, desserts. So we can do as much or as little as you want. And feel free to browse our website on there. I know that since you guys are getting ready to start the semester, your work schedule can be a little bit wacky at first, you know, once you try to figure out your class schedule. So if you need a job, work on campus with us. We're always hiring students. Come be a part of our team. You can feel free to contact our general manager, Jamie, or our retail manager, Daniel, or just really any of us. If you see us on campus, any of us will be able to direct you to the right place. Does anybody have any short questions that I can answer now or any longer questions at the end of the presentation?
I'm not seeing any questions so far.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Cindy. As she said, if any of y'all have any questions or anything like that, go ahead and just drop them into the Q&A box and we'll make sure to get those answered. Alrighty, so next up to close us out, we're gonna have Housing and Residence Life. They're gonna give y'all a quick little presentation as well.
Hi, can everyone hear me? Cool. So I am Sam Thornton. I am with Housing and Residence Life. I serve as the Assistant Director of Housing Operations. So essentially, I'm the one who does all of the applications, assignments, billings, things like that. And I have one of my colleagues also here with me.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon Griffin. I serve as one of the resident coordinators here at UT Tyler.
So today for this presentation, we're going to kind of divide it into two parts. I'll first be presenting kind of more on the operations side of things, so like the application, reminders like that. And then Brandon will be presenting on kind of the res life things of like experience in the residence halls. So to start with, the biggest thing, if it hasn't already been done, your students will need to either complete the housing application if they plan on living on campus, or they will need to complete the waiver if they will be living off campus. We do have a first year live on. Or students with under 60 credit hours are required to live on campus, and so if they are wanting to like live off campus, they would have to apply for our waiver and meet one of our waiver like options, such as living within 50 miles with parents or legal guardians, or things like military, 21 plus, only taking online classes, things like that. And then again, if they're living on campus, there are options for first-time freshmen, are Ornelas, Patriot Village, or University Pines. University Pines is not managed by UT Tyler Housing, but it is a community that only UT Tyler students can live in. So it's a completely separate application process. Students are required to have a meal plan if they will be living on campus, and so part of that application process, they will select their meal plan as well. So I wanted to touch on the housing and residence life portal, the housing portal. Your students can access this by going to their My UT Tyler, clicking important links and clicking the housing portal. I would recommend that they become familiar with this site. It holds a lot of information. So the housing portal is where they would go to complete the housing application or the waiver. But also it's where, like, if they're assigned, once they have like their room assignment, it will show on their housing portal. If they can't remember what meal plan they selected when they were doing the application, that will show on the housing portal. Their roommates and their contact information will also show on the housing portal. And so we recommend that students regularly check the housing portal, especially throughout the summer as we're doing assignments and things like that, so they can see their assignment and their roommates and everything on there. The other thing that I wanted to touch on briefly is if your student has any sort of housing accommodation needs, please make sure that they have contacted the Student Accessibility Resources Office or the SARS office sooner rather than later and go through the accommodation process. Some of the most common accommodations we see are like students who need first floor accommodations, hearing or visually impaired, ADA accessible. Students who have like severe dietary needs will sometimes have an accommodation for a full kitchen so that they can cook their foods for themselves. And then we also see like students who have accommodations for ESAs or service animals. We wanted to note that we do not allow pets in housing. So you can't, if your like student has a family pet and they're like, I want to take them to college with me, they cannot do that. We only allow SARS approved ESAs or service animals. And they are not able to bring them to campus until they have been fully approved by SARS and registered in the housing portal, which is again why it's important we go through the SARS process sooner rather than later so that all their T's are crossed and I's are dotted prior to move in. It should be noted that accommodation does not guarantee housing in a specific facility. And so if the student like has an accommodation and we don't have a space available that can meet that accommodation, we'll work with that student. But one of the options is the student can be approved for a waiver to live off campus. So for instance, if the student ends up needing like a first floor accommodation, and by the time that they apply and like get approved for their accommodation, like all of the first floor rooms have been assigned, we try to, if like a space becomes available, to honor that accommodation. But if we're not able to, we can work with the student if they need like a waiver to live off campus or something like that. But that again speaks to the importance of having your student, if they do need an accommodation, to go contact the SARS office sooner rather than later. And at all of the orientation sessions, the SARS office has a presentation, so definitely go see that if you haven't already, as they go through what the process for an accommodation is. So last on my end, some Reminders, again, make sure that your student has applied for housing or completed the waiver. Definitely instruct your student to regularly check their Patriots email for communication on assignments, move-ins, etc., because we will be sending that information out to their Patriots email. But also students can check their housing portal. Oftentimes, like their room assignment and things will show on their housing portal earlier than we're able to send out the like email, and so they should also definitely be checking their housing portal. Also, once if they get their initial assignment and they don't yet have a roommate, we continue to place students throughout the summer, and so we recommend that they still constantly periodically check the housing portal. And then go ahead and mark your calendars for Thursday, August 22nd, because that is when move-in will occur between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. And Brandon will be speaking more to move-in later in his presentation. Take it away, Brandon.
All right, thank you so much, Sam. So, as you guys can tell, we're going over a few things for our housing and residence life side. So, as a collective, we have 21 pro staff members. Our central office team is at the Liberty Landing Clubhouse. It's on the side, guys. So, once you go into Liberty Landing, it's on the right hand side. But definitely, we have 7 resident coordinators, which are full-time live-on employees for the university. We have grad assistants. We also have assistant resident coordinators living in the communities as well. We also have our maintenance team that you'll all see them. They all have a staff shirt on. They'll definitely be on throughout the campus. So if anybody sees them, don't be alarmed. They normally knock when they come to the room, so don't panic. We have 57 student staff, which are RAs. You'll also see them with student staff shirts on. One thing I definitely want to say and want to emphasize, the student staff are definitely going to be around to help. At whatever communities that you guys end up at, please feel free to ask them any questions that you may have. Okay, that's what we're here for. We're excited that you guys are coming, so we just definitely want to make sure that you guys feel welcome, and please don't be afraid to ask. We have 45 resident assistants or RAs, students that live in each community. We also have the housing office assistants, or our HOA students that work along with Sam. They're like Sam's right hand person. So definitely they work as a collective to keep our well-oiled machine going. We also have maintenance resident assistants. A lot of the times they'll be with our maintenance team. Our maintenance teams, like I said, they come around, they do daily services to the facilities and also to the overall university. Well, to our housing place. So if you see them, if you hear them knocking early in the morning, that's them. A lot of times you guys will receive emails prior to their arrival, depending on what it is. But yes, a lot of the times. So please, please, please check your student emails, guys. You have to check your student emails. Essential collaboration with our campus colleagues, the UT PD, our care team, health services, counseling, wellness, financial aid, student engagement, international office, and many more throughout the campus. Guys, we do a lot of events. A lot of information, guys, is like I said, you guys' student emails are going to be vital to your time here at UT Tyler. Please get in the habit of checking those things. but a lot of thank you. It's okay, Sam. But yeah, I was transitioning over there. So our in-hall programs, guys, we have programs weekly, starting week 1 when you guys arrive. The in-hall programming, each living community will have programs weekly. Even though many of you will stay at specific communities, it's also encouraged that you attend programs at other communities, guys. So if you're at OHAL, yes, you can go to programs at Patriot Village. You can go to programs at Liberty Land. All the programs, guys, I promise you guys, they are benefiting you. You will always gain something, whether it's food, whether it's knowledge about the university, things that you didn't know about the school. Because obviously, you know, orientation, you guys pick up a lot of things, but I promise you, everything out the programs that are being provided for you guys, you're gonna gain something from it. So please be in attendance. Let me see. Halls also host large annual programs such as an annual Fright Fest. As you guys can see to the right of the screen, that's some of me and my staff from last semester. Please don't mind me, guys. I get really goofy, but I promise you, this is just my personality. I'm very happy. I'm definitely gonna be somebody that encourages you and wants you to go out and be a part of the community and be a part of the team building. RHA, guys, this is a great time. This is a great time. So our RHA guys are a student-ran organization. Guys, you guys are our voice, okay? We can't change. We're in a time of change, okay? We're in a time of change. Guys, please get involved. Get involved. A lot of the things that go on at our school, guys, we won't know how to change it. We won't know how to make our university better without you guys' opinion. Please, guys, get involved. They'll have weekly or bi-weekly meetings. And then we also have our RHA president, Ronnie Carney. He's should have been on but it's okay. But he's definitely gonna be involved, guys. He's very energetic. He's definitely gonna get the best out of you, and he's gonna go to work for you. I promise you that. But definitely, guys, please get involved. Patriot Palooza. The first week, guys, your first week at UT is gonna be nuts. It's gonna be a lot of events going on. Patriot Palooza, we're gonna have a lot of events going on starting from that Thursday. Obviously, that'll be that check-in. It'll be that check-in. Remember, guys, please show up at your approved or your selected appointed time. So if you had a check-in time at 9 o'clock, guys, please don't show up at 8:30 because we won't have anybody there for you. Make sure you please show up at that specific time. Going along with some more moving tips. Make sure you guys are talking or getting communication with you guys as roommates. Please understand, like, you don't want to have 4 different microwaves. You don't want to have 3 different microwaves, guys. Because especially if you're staying at OHA, guys, 1 microwave will be good. You won't need pots and pans, even though they are a community. It's a community. It's a community kitchen there at OHA, guys. If you're staying at the other communities, guys, please get in contact with your roommates. Start building that relationship with your roommates now, okay? So that way you can avoid buying double, triple, and quadruple things. Make sure you show up to at the selected time on the moving day, as it was on the previous slide. If you arrive early, your student will not be able to check in until that appointed time. So please, guys, it's gonna be hot, and I understand the frustration. I want to get your student in, parents and students, but please, guys, we're gonna basically go off of that time that you select. Okay, so please show up at that time so we can get you accustomed and equipped into your room. Please make sure that you hydrate, guys. Please make sure that you hydrate. It's going to be hot. I promise you. We're going to have some water. We're going to have some water available for everybody. But guys, just please, before you come, we don't want anybody to pass out, okay? Because it's going to be extremely hot. A great thing, guys, at our university, we have steps, we have stairs. Not every facility has an elevator, okay? I think, the only elevator that we have will be at OHA. So there are going to be a lot of steps. Guys, please understand. We're going to give you guys some help. We have volunteers that are going to be here. They're going to be excited to help you move your belongings in, guys. Just be patient. It's going to be a lot of directives on that moving day, guys. There's going to be a lot of moving things going on. So everybody, please be patient. And then we're going to get everybody in and move in. The last thing I would say, please, guys, when you arrive, if you have not already went to the OneStop to get your picture ID taken for your access to your room, everything is digital, guys. So everything is digital. So your ID will actually be on your phone. So please, guys, make sure that you take care of that at the OneStop, okay? Because once our student staff put your access on your door, you'll have access to get into your room, but you have to make sure you take care of that, okay? Do that on your end, so that process of checking in is smooth and less steps and less sweating, because like I said, it's gonna be very hot. But yes, that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. If anybody has any housing questions, feel free to go ahead and put them in the Q&A box now. If you have any questions at all about any of the panelists and anybody who spoke today, now is your chance to throw them in the Q&A box and we will answer them right now. If you don't have any questions, but you just want to hang around, that's cool too. Or if you have nothing at all, then feel free to go ahead and log off the meeting. So yeah, we got our first question. It says online you can get your student ID. Where online would that be? Amanda, that's probably a you question with the one.
Yeah, it's in student business services, but what you can do is you can email a photo. It has to be a very clear photo. It can't have any filters on it. You cannot have any crazy things on. So if you have sunglasses on, take them off. If you have a hat on, take it off. Take a really clear picture of yourself, and you can email that to ID request@uttyler.edu. And you need to include your student ID number and a copy of your photo ID, like a driver's license or your government issue ID, or maybe a high school ID card, just so they can make sure that you are who you say you are before they issue you an ID card. And please remember that in order to get a student ID card or even download the mobile card, you must be enrolled in classes. You can't just be admitted to UT Tyler. You must officially be enrolled in courses, and it takes 24 hours for you to get into their system after that enrollment occurs.
Thank you for that. Sam dropped some information as well, and the email address is posted in the chat for anybody who might need that. We've got any other questions about anything? Housing, dining, parking, any of those things? Feel free to ask away. There are no further questions. Feel free, thank you so much for attending. Feel free to hop off the call. If you have any future questions, you can always send them to parents@uttyler.edu. And if there's any questions regarding any of the topics that we've covered, we'll make sure to forward those to the correct offices, or just if we're able to answer them, then we will make sure to get you the answer as well. Corbin dropped that email in the chat right now. We will be sending out a survey after this to whatever email address you provided whenever you registered for the webinar. That way we can get a little bit of feedback based off of what you saw today, how we can improve for the future, and any other future type of topics or things that you would like to see. So make sure to look out for that survey. If there's any questions, feel free to hop them in the chat. If not, then otherwise, I hope you'll have a great rest of your day, and we will see you at the next session.